Well, hello, IDS 105 students, and welcome to this quick IDS 105 learning community video that is going to walk you through how to find your templates and what to do for those project draft assignments that you have in your IDS 105 class. So first and foremost, you can find these project drafts in your IDS 105 classroom. The very first one you have is actually for Module 2, Week 2. So we're going to go there. So you click on Course Menu, go to Learning Modules, and when you go to Learning Modules, let's just click on Module 2. When you do that, as you guys are learning by now in your second week, you want to make sure that you always click through all of the content that's actually within your module. So you want to make sure you click the blue, gets you to where you want to go, pull up the introduction of the module, make sure you scroll all the way down, click all the way over, and go through the module content. It's really important because some of the answers that you will be in the content and concepts you will be reviewing will come from not only your reading in your textbook, but also it'll come here from within the module too. So just make sure that you're always reviewing the content in its entirety through the module, but also that you are paying attention to these required resources that are part of every single week. There might be some extra videos or different blogs or journals or articles it might link you to in addition to the module reading and the textbook reading. Okay, so I always want to point that out to students. But as you work through your week 2 assignments, you have that warm-up assignment, but we are going to be focusing in on your very first project draft. So you will notice when you get to your project drafts that you can always access them by clicking on the guidelines and rubric. And when you do that, it'll pull up this overview of the assignment, plus it'll give you directions of how to work through the assignment. So for this very first one, you are going to be centering in on first and foremost, picking a scenario. So you will notice that you'll see underneath the directions that you're going to have 3 different scenarios that you can pick from. Scenario 1 is school, scenario 2 is personal, scenario 3 is in the workplace. Now, these that are listed right here on this assignment overview are just like a quick overview of each different scenario. To get all the information, all the details, we actually want to click on what's called the scenario profiles, and that'll really help you identify which scenario you want to focus on, because you're going to be using the same scenario all term long as you work on your project drafts each week that they're assigned, and then they all together complete what's called a guidebook or your final project, okay? So it's important for this first one to really make sure that you pick something that you're interested in, maybe something that you have experience in, or maybe something you just want to learn more about, but something that'll be easy for you to kind of take that scenario and either draw upon personal or professional experiences in addition to what you're learning in the classroom, okay? So there's just a quick recap of these scenarios here underneath the directions, but as you scroll through, there's 2 things I want to point out. One, you have a template for this assignment. What that means is when you click on this little, click the blue, gets you where you want to go, project template, it will download a Word document. So if you do not have Microsoft Word, you do get Office 365 for free as an SNHU student. You can download that for free as a student to be able to turn these in using Microsoft Word, because the template is a Microsoft Word document. So I wanted to point out there, that's where you'll find that. But also, remember I said up top up here, these were just quick overviews. If you scroll down on these supporting materials, you will see the rubric for how you're graded, but you'll see this scenario profile. So click on scenario profiles, and this gives you like the extended version, the details and all the information about each scenario. So you'll notice you have this school scenario. This very first paragraph is like the bigger overview of what this scenario is, okay? So you'll notice as you scroll through, you have scenario 1 school, gives you the overview. That is what you're focusing on. You will see these conflicts. We're not focusing on any of the conflicts until module 5. So don't look at that part. I mean, you can review them, but what you're focusing in is kind of the main concept of what's happening in the scenario, all right? So pay attention to those first paragraphs for each one. So again, there's more information here about scenario 1 school. You'll see more information here about scenario 2 personal. And as you scroll down, you'll see scenario 3 workplace. This first paragraph gives you more information about what the scenario is and what you'll be doing. Okay, so just a reminder, you are only focusing on picking a scenario to help you answer the questions for these modules. The conflicts don't come into play until quite a few weeks down the line in Module 5. Okay, so that is where you can find the kind of the extended version of the scenario profiles. Let's go back and just remember project template. You can just type right in it. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then scenario profiles are all located. Just make sure you guys scroll to the bottom. And then, of course, review the rubric so you know how you're graded. So as you guys noticed, when I clicked on project template, it downloaded that to my computer. So I'm going to open this up for you guys real quick here. And you'll notice it's a Word document. So like I said, if you don't have Microsoft Word or something compatible, you do get this for free as part of being an SNHU student. And I'll show you how to download that and where to find it here in a second. And what I wanted to point out is once you download this, you can usually have to click Enable Editing, and you're actually able to type directly here in the template. Now, we get a lot of questions, like, do I have to leave the questions? Can I delete them and just type it? You want to leave this as is and just answer the question. So just type right underneath it. So you'll notice first and foremost, you have to identify your chosen scenario. So I'm going to say for this one that I am going to do scenario 1, school. That's the one I'm going to focus on for not only this project draft, but for the whole term, because you're going to use this document over and over every week. You're just going to make sure you pay attention to what sections you should be completing when. So you'll notice that this part 1, you'll see complete this section in module 2. So for week 2, these are the 4 questions that you're answering. And if you look further into the template, you will notice there's certain questions you're going to answer in week 3, module 3, module 4, and module 5. So pay attention to those. So for week 2, you're only focusing in on these first 4 questions, okay? So once you review the module reading, you review your required resources, you want to make sure that you do your warm-up, and then you want to actually pick a scenario that you're going to focus on. So for example, I chose school. So when I'm answering these 4 questions, I'm keeping my chosen scenario in mind, in addition to what I've read or learned this week or any personal or professional experience I might have with this. So question 1, explain the difference between justice, fairness, and equality in this scenario. So thinking about my school scenario and what happened in it, explain the differences between these 3 things. Okay, use examples, use details. Same thing for all the rest of the questions. You want to make sure that you answer them based off of your chosen scenario. And then you're just going to save that, and then you're going to upload it to your class so your instructor can grade it. Okay? So if you get stuck, if you have questions, reach out to your instructor. But I wanted to show you where, again, that project template is. Click the blue, gets you to where you want to go. And then I wanted to also show you those scenario profiles. The other thing is, 2 things I wanted to show you is this is a great time to utilize academic support. Up here at the top, if you click on academic support and you go to written feedback and click on try it now, this is a great place for you to upload your draft of answering the questions based off of your chosen scenario and have an extra person kind of review it, make sure you're on task, on topic, and that everything looks okay. They give you that feedback within 12 hours. The other thing I told you guys about was that you get that Office 365 for free as an SNHU student. So if you click on help, the little help arrow, and click on online student services, it pulls all the departments and resources up here on one space. But I wanted to show you that if you scroll down, you'll see this Office 365 and other software. Click the blue, gets you to where you want to go, and it'll enable you to download not only Microsoft Office, which has like Word, PowerPoint, Excel, but there's other software that you can get for free because you are a SNHU student. So as a reminder, how to find those project drafts real quick. Course menu. You can always find them underneath the learning module that they are assigned. So remember, if you go into module 2, which is the very first one, if you scroll down, you're going to see those project drafts. Click on guidelines and rubric. It pulls up the overview, gives you the project template. You have to download it. Scenario profiles takes you to those extended details and information about the scenarios, okay? There is one other way you can get to them quickly if you want to, which is course menu, and you go underneath assignments, and when you do that, you can actually click on the one that you want. So let's click on project 2, and you'll see the guidelines and rubric there too. So just know that's 2 different ways that you can get there. The biggest thing to remember is focus only on the questions that you have to answer for that week that you are assigned. So module 2, week 2 has certain questions you're answering. week 3, week 4, week 5, have certain ones you're answering. You're not going in there and doing the whole thing. You're just doing the ones that you need to for that week. Make sure you use your chosen scenario. Make sure you identify your chosen scenario. And remember, this template, you're going to be using that same document from week to week. It's kind of like a live working document. If you get stuck, if you have questions, reach out to your instructor because they can help clarify anything that you may need. Plus, if you want kind of an extra set of thoughts and somebody else looking over your project draft, get it off to that written feedback team that's part of academic support. You just upload it, give them some information about it, and they'll get back to you within 12 hours. So that's it. That's how to find the templates, how to do your first project draft. If you get stuck, reach out, and remember, you got this.